Hey, hi fellas, it's Nick. The reason I'm making this video is I had a lot of problems with two switches, which I marked them switch 3 for the middle track, and they were both in the area where the buildings are, and one switch was under the trestle and one wasn't under the trestle, and these switches you use the legacy control, and when you operate it, if you want to go into the curve, both of them go at the same time in the curve, and then when you want them goes into a straight, they would both go into the straight, so you can make it as though it's one unit. But what was happening, I was having trouble with the one that was under the trestle, and I took it out and I checked everything, put it back in, and it seemed to work for a month or so. And then for some reason, the same problem happened. So then I figured maybe the neutral, which is where it picks up the power, I ran a neutral wire underneath, and I lowered it to the switch to see if it would operate, and it didn't. And the reason why I did it that way is because I have another pair of switches and they were having the same problem, but when I put this neutral wire above the inner switch, they operated. Second time I did it, it seemed to work, and that lasted for a couple of months, and then I had the same problem. So what I did was I took both of the switches out and I just put straight tracks in. As you can see now, if you look where the buildings are underneath the trestle, there's no switches there. But I still wanted the pair of switches there, because what I wanted to do is when I have the engine running in the middle section, I wanted to be able to bring it outer section, and that's the only way I can do it because the way my layout is, and I just don't have enough room to put 4 switches in a row. Now I have an 072 switch, which is a manual one, where you use the hand switch, and it operates it. So what I decided to do is the one that I use the hand switch, to put that one underneath the trestle, the one that operates with the legacy, to leave it where it was in the middle section, because I had no problem with it. But then I was a little concerned that maybe for some reason I'm on another end of the layout and I throw the switch that operates with the legacy to the curve switch, but forget to do the inner one to the curve. The train, of course, would just go off the track. But then I realized that Lionel, they have the safety device they built into their switches, where if the switch is straight rather, and you want to make it go into the switch, so the switch itself would be in a curved position. Once that engine wheels touch it, it automatically would go into the curve, so the engine won't go off the track. And then it would go around the outer one. But now that switch is in a curved position. So when the engine goes over the switch, that safety would bring that curved part of the switch back to the straight. So I was a little satisfied with that, just in case I might forget or to switch it. Sometimes this happens. And I'm going to demonstrate it on these 2 switches that I have when I'm talking about it. Of course, sometimes it's better to demonstrate it. So right now, this is the manual one, and that's in the straight position. Now, I'm going to throw the automatic switch, which is this switch right here, into the curved position, which is in the curved position. Now I'm going to use this truck to demonstrate the engine. Now, as you see, the truck is going into the curved position, but once he hits that switch, the automatic safety will throw that straight part of the switch to the curve, which it just did, if you heard it. and then the engine won't go off the track. Now, as I mentioned, if the engine goes around the out and coming up to where that inner switch is and it's still in the curved position, I forget to switch it. The same safety will work on it once I put this truck on. Did you hear it? And now it's in the straight position. So that made me feel comfortable to use the manual switch, which will be underneath the trestle, and to use the switch that I can use with the Legacy. So I'm going to do that. Now I have another concern. And what the concern is, the height of from the table to the height of the upper level, I can't fit the drill in to unscrew the screws and put them in. I had to do it by hand. And you know, it's just annoying. So I went on YouTube and I punched in angle screwdriver. So it came up with this particular one. It's a DeWalt 90 angle, which is this unit right here. And this part goes into your drill, and then you can, use it. And as I'll show you, I got plenty of room. I have plenty of room here to work it, where I could not do with the regular drill. I'm going to shut the video off and bring it over to where I have everything laid out, because there's something else I wanted to explain to you. So I'm just going to shut it off. All right, fellas, I'm over at the table where I have everything laid out, and I just wanted to explain a couple of things to you. First of all, this is the drill, and you can see the height of it. That I just couldn't do it. I couldn't unscrew or screw the screws under the trestle or the platform. So this DeWalt, it just goes right into this drill. I haven't used it yet. So, okay. So this is how it would be. And then of course I would, drill and so on. But what I like about this also, it has some nice features. One, there's a magnet right here. So if you had a wider head type screwdriver, it will hold it. And this is the bit, and you just put it in here and it goes in. Now you notice it's just a little bit coming out, but just that little bit is enough to grab it, and the magnet will hold it. Now I didn't realize, and so I started looking at it, because at first, to get this out, I was using this pliers, and you can get it out, or sometimes it slips. I said they must have built something in here to make it easier to get it out. So I turned it around, and as you can see, this little opening here, if you put your screwdriver in and push, my hands are in the way, push, it comes right out. So I like that idea. Then what I did was, when I go back to that area, I have to drill through the plywood so I can run the wire down under the table. And I didn't have any drills, because you needed drills that had this particular backing here. So I looked on Amazon. As a matter of fact, this is where I bought this, by the way, Amazon. It was $20. I think that's a pretty decent price. So I also looked at it and I saw this package here, and it wasn't that that expensive. I think they were like $8 or something like that. And what I like about it, it's from 1/16 to 3/8, and the 3/8 is large enough for me to get the wires that I need. And as you see, it has the backing where I could just put it right into the drill and I can drill. So this is very handy tool, and it's really not that heavy, and I just like the design of it. And from the back to the face, it's an inch and 16ths, I believe. But I have plenty of room, even with this, with the bit here. I have plenty of room that I could drill a hole in the table under the trestle. So I just wanted to show you this, fellas. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut it off and actually start drilling and running the wires and putting the switches there. And after I do everything, see if it works, and I'll show it to you. I had two plan A's, they didn't work out too good, and try this plan B and we'll see how this one works. I have a feeling it's going to work because the manual one, you don't have to be concerned about any signals from the neutrals of the legacy control. I'm going to end the video now. You have a great day, fellas. Bye.